What is up, guys? Randall here from Crypto Love, and today I have an episode for you about one of my favorite cryptos. Yes, you know, Lisk. Well, guess what? They just had a relaunch. In case you guys didn't see, I went to the relaunch in Berlin, Germany. It was very, very cold. Not used to that coldness, but they did an awesome job with the relaunch. Max Kordek said Apple-style keynote relaunch, and it very much was that. Now, guys, not only am I going to have this going over their new website, talking about Lisk, but also, if you stay tuned, and you definitely should, there'll be an interview with the man himself, Max Kordek, the CEO of Lisk, coming up at the end of this interview. Now, I just wanted to say before I get started, thank you to everyone mashing on that like button, thank you to everyone subscribing, and also, guys, I mean, in case you've never heard of Lisk before, in case this is the first time, so I like Lisk. Number of reasons why I like Lisk. First, they ease developer adoption and also adoption by pretty much everyone by making it super simple. For developers, they only need to know JavaScript. Most developers know JavaScript. Also, they make things just simple, easy, and with their new website, things get even easier, and it kind of helps build up the community. Now, Lisk has been working to build up a community in terms of what they're doing, and they do a very good job of that. They have Lisk meetups all over the place. They're traveling all over the place, meeting everyone. So they have a lot going for them. Additionally, they have a lot of developers on their team. Like, I don't know about you guys, but probably you've been hearing about these like pump and dump hype type cryptos where they have an idea and it's just like, bah, smoke and mirrors and confetti, of course, okay? And there's nothing to follow up. They have no developers. They maybe have an idea and that's it. Well, Lisk actually has a whole bunch of developers, a big team that they will all be working together. So all of those things together and a whole bunch more. That's why I like Lisk. Now, taking a look at the website, Lisk recently had the relaunch event. Everybody's been waiting for it for months and months and months and months and months. All right. So back in November, they had an event where it was almost going to be the relaunch, but it wasn't. They tricked us. This was the relaunch here, February 20th, and they did a great job. So as you can see, up top left here, they have a brand new logo. Okay, so we have like the old obelisk, the blue one. Well, this is new, okay? But here's the thing. I think they did a very good job of keeping it uniform, keeping the idea the same as the old logo. Also, the text and the name, that looks very similar. And then in terms of the website, completely different look to the website. Color scheme, still the same. They still like their blues. I like blue as well, so good job, good job. But basically, their website is meant for everyone to be able to use it. So for beginners to blockchain to be able to use it, for developers to be able to use it, for community members to be able to use it, for people who just have Lisk wallets and all that stuff to be able to use it. And they do it, they've done a lot of user research, testing, all this stuff to make sure it works very well. So I'm sure some of you are saying, Randall, you always say nice things about Lisk. Why don't you say some bad things? Just because I like them, you know? And if there were bad things, I would definitely tell you, but I haven't found any. So if you want, post them down in the comments down below. But I think all in all, they've done a very good job of building a new website, relaunching, rebranding, and getting ready for what's to come in the future. Because now that they have relaunched, this is just the very beginning, guys. Just the very beginning. So if you take a look at the website, they got products, team, events, academy, documentation, and the Lisk Hub. Okay, so that'll be coming up. But you can access the power of the blockchain. And so this part here is just teaching people who are new to the blockchain about the blockchain. So a lot of people, they may have heard about Bitcoin. Maybe they've heard blockchain once or twice. They want to know more what it is. But they went to a Lisk meetup. They found out about blockchain. They want to know what's this Lisk thing. And so they can go to the website and find out more and more all about the blockchain and exactly what it is, what it does. It's global, it's valuable, it's secure, reliable, immutable, all that fun stuff. So they talk about your blockchain made simple and why Lisk's blockchain is superior to many, like the heavily bloated Ethereum blockchain. All right. Well, first off, because they have well, we'll talk about it from the way that they have it. So application, everybody wants to build their dApps, decentralized applications. So we have the decentralized application there. All right, and that can exchange data with Lisk's main chain. How does it do it? Through the side chain. So the side chain is your own personal blockchain built off of the Lisk main chain. And then we have the main chain, all right? So the Lisk main chain, the reason that this works so well is it helps address scalability. Okay, we don't have bloated blockchains like Ethereum. We have main chain and side chains. The side chains don't affect the main chain, so if they get bogged down and they're all slow, it's not going to affect the main chain, not going to affect the other side chains, so we would not have a CryptoKitties incident on Lisk. Also, guys, they have a lot more about blockchain insights, like what's decentralization, all these questions that people ask. So this first page is just to really help people direct them in which direction they're going. And also, another thing that is lacking a lot in cryptocurrencies in general is just trust. So putting Max and putting Oliver here on the front page, okay, these are the guys you can trust, the CEO and the CTO. Both of them have had a lot of blockchain experience, and so, you know, they're the face of Lisk. It's not this anonymous person that we don't know about, it's these guys. Now, in terms of development, they've been doing a lot of development. So in terms of just, I think it was the commits on GitHub or something like that, more for in the past short amount of time than ever before for the relaunch. So they've been doing a lot of stuff. They're definitely developing. And then, like I said, the community stuff. So this is all the community stuff. They have a growing community, very big community, very active community, and that's how they all find out stuff. And then, if you want to become a Lisk insider, if you want to know stuff before everybody else, you can just sign up for your email there. But let's go through the website step by step. First is their products page. Okay, so this is for people who want to create dApps, blockchains, all that stuff. And with Lisk, you can create your own white label side chains. So more and more people are moving to the blockchain. Pretty much everybody is. And I remember there was an interview with Max Kordek in India where he said that you know, there were only about 10, maybe up to 10 ICOs daily, where it could go to thousands or even greater in the future. And with something like Lisk, it's going to make it easier for people to do that because they don't have to find a blockchain developer. It's super hard to find a blockchain developer. In fact, there's like 14 jobs for every one blockchain developer. So if you don't need a blockchain developer, you can just generate your own white label sidechain on Lisk using the Lisk commander, which used to be called Liske, and you can go ahead and do that using their command line interface for your own sidechain development. Now, not only that, you can use, if you want to, you can use Lisk course. That's like for the people who want to know all about diving deep into it. You could also, the Lisk elements, that's like their library of stuff going on. So they have all of these things which they have recently rebranded, relaunched. But you can customize your own sidechain right there in the Lisk Hub. So at the top of every page, Lisk Hub, that's going to be like the home. I'm going to show you that in a minute. But the Lisk Hub is going to be the main place where everybody goes. That's going to be like your Lisk home, where you can store your Lisk, where you can vote for delegates, where you can create your tokens, where you can do whatever you want, all there on the Lisk Hub. Used to be called the Lisk app. All right. And then from sidechain to application, you build a sidechain, you build an application, and they make it super easy with JavaScript. Also, guys, they're always talking about safety, security, testing. So they're going to have a testnet where you can test your chains and your dApps before actually running them, so we don't have errors going on. So all of that stuff, really, really important. And they talk more about just the benefits of the blockchain as opposed to other things. Right here, they're going through the renamed things. So we used to have Liske, now we have Lisk Commander, which is the command line interface for doing short, brief alterations in your chains. Then we have the Lisk Hub, which is your one-stop shop for everything Lisk, okay? It's got the Lisk ID, you can access and send Lisk tokens, you can vote for delegates, you can do all types of stuff. In the future, it'll host a decentralized exchange, which could be very cool, sidechain registration, and the ability to launch your own ICO, so all that stuff. Lisk Core, this is for like the developers out there, all right? So if you wanna know everything that's going on, if you want to set up a full node, if you want to do all that, Lisk Core is for you. And then Lisk Elements is the library. So that's where you find out all the other stuff. And then down here, they have Lisk Nano. And you're saying, but wait, I thought they got rid of the Nano wallet. Well, they're phasing it out, okay? Because there's so many people using Lisk right now, they can't just like drop it and stop it. So they have to kind of phase it out. But this will eventually be phased out, I think, in preference for the Lisk Hub. Then you can have your own sidechain development kit. The SDK, I used to call them software development kits, but they're now sidechain development kits. Very cool. And so all that information there. So you can go ahead and get started. Like I mentioned, guys, one of the things that I like about Lisk, as opposed to many other projects, look at the size of their team. I have to scroll down here, okay? 41 on the team, 22 developers, okay? But they also have marketers and everything else. And, I mean, they have a very big team. This is something that most other projects do not have, including people with a lot of blockchain experience. So another thing that people don't have. And then they also have their roadmap. So it tells you a little bit about what they were doing. So they had their ICO back in 2016. They raised 1,400 Bitcoin. I think they were like the second most popular ICO back then. And then they started the Lisk Foundation in Zug. So they have all that stuff going on. And really, even though this relaunch was a big thing that people were looking for, this is only the beginning. Only the beginning. If you want, they go to all these different events. So you can go to Hong Kong. I would love to go to Hong Kong. They have Token 2049, March 20th in Hong Kong. That would be fun. But you can see all the different events that they have going on there. And then, this is a big one, the Lisk Academy. Now, what they've done is they've created an academy to help train people about blockchain and also about blockchain for business and also about ICOs and everything. So you can find out a lot of what you want to know about blockchain, cryptocurrencies, ICOs, all this stuff. Now, granted, it's going to be kind of targeted a bit towards Lisk. Yes, this is because it's their own thing. But here's the thing. It's a great way for people who are new to cryptocurrencies or people who are new to ICOs to find out more information, to get involved. Because like I said in the very beginning, one of the things that I love about Lisk is their stress on getting adoption, okay, by getting people to use it. Because the more people that use it, the more valuable it becomes. The only reason Bitcoin is so valuable is because a lot of people use it. The only reason Ethereum is so valuable is because all these ICOs run on it. So with Lisk, by lowering the bar for entry, by making it easy for anyone to start using it, that's going to help build up the value of Lisk. Now, is this something that's going to be overnight, pumping up overnight? No, absolutely not. It's something in the 10 to plus years. So, but therein lies the value because, you know, probably one Lisk token is going to be worth quite a lot in a few years. The other thing they have all their documentation. So you can find out all the documentation stuff here on the website. And then that brings us to the Lisk Hub. So this is going to be like your one place for going to pretty much everything that you need to do. So you can access your Lisk there, you go to your wallet, you can go to the Explorer, you can check out sidechains, and then even if you wanted to be a delegate, if you wanted to vote for stuff, you could turn on the delegate features, and then you would have voting come up here, so delegates. But what you have to do, you have to sign in. And the coolest thing, you create your own unique Lisk ID, which you basically just create it by moving your mouse. It creates a unique one just for you, and I'm just showing you how to do that there. And then you have your Lisk ID right down there. It's a bunch of numbers ending with an L. And then, check this out. So you can have multiple different accounts on here simultaneously. So let's say you had like a Lisk account for business, a personal Lisk account, your wife's Lisk account, whatever it is, you could have them all managed on here, and they all have different Lisk IDs, so different visual circles there. Okay, so that you could visually identify them without having to memorize the numbers and do all that stuff. Then you get your passphrase, all that stuff. So Lisk Hub is going to be the one-stop shop, the place where you go to for everything in the future. But all in all, guys, that was just to give you an idea of what's going on with Lisk, with the relaunch, with the website. Like I said, I think they did an awesome job, both in developing the website, finding out what people want, and actually doing that stuff. And then also, yeah, Apple Keynote style relaunch, that's a hard thing to pull off, and I think they did it phenomenally. So it was a great event. I really am grateful to be able to be there for that, so thank you for that. And then, guys, coming up now, what you've all been waiting for, the interview with the man himself, CEO Max Kordek. Let's go. Boom shakalaka, what's up guys? Randall here from Crypto Love, and I have the man Max Kordek from Lisk. We're going to be talking today. Hey, good to see you, Max. Now, last night, you had a phenomenal relaunch event.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely set yourself up by saying Apple-style keynote, and 100% you delivered on it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so I gotta say, it's an absolute honor to be here with you. And to begin with, what would you like the world to know about Lisk?
Well, everything, you know. I think everyone should know what we are about to build. Everyone should know, like, our vision and what our platform will enable people to do. I think we're onto something amazing here, and we're working really, really hard to establish our vision and make it a reality. But we have to start somewhere. So what I would like the world to wish, what they know about Lisk, is just that it exists. I don't want to just say like, let's buy Lisk or anything. What I want is that people educate themselves about blockchain, and then about Lisk, and see if it's an idea they like have a relation to, and if yes, they should get involved and help us out to change the world.
Yeah, so one of the first things I saw about Lisk that really intrigued me was your focus on getting adoption, both in terms of community developers and everything like that. So can you talk a little bit about how you plan on doing that now and also in the future?
Sure. So we specified a few target groups like developers, app commissioners, beginners, and let's say community members. And well, we have to target these groups specifically in order to be able to build what we want to build, right? But another plan is that, well, Lisk is something global, but we cannot be global at this stage. So that means we have to focus on different countries worldwide. Let's say Switzerland, Germany, Poland, America, and Japan. These are very favorite, like our favorites at this moment. And well, we have to go hard there to attract these focus groups I just mentioned. And well, how do you attract a developer? On the one side, you need amazing documentation, you need an amazing product. On the other side, you need to let them or make them aware that it exists, right, the product. And here our plan is to have a stronger focus on development-related conferences this year in order to attract the talents around the world, specifically in these countries I mentioned, so that everyone will be able to build great blockchain applications. Another initiative we just started with the relaunch is the Lisk Academy. This is our way to educate beginners of the blockchain space about blockchain technology. And I think this will go a really, really long way to get new people into the space, make them familiar with the tech, and then make them huge fans of the Lisk platform, Lisk protocol. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, the Academy looks really cool. One thing that I saw, another interview you did when you were in India, you were talking about how we were seeing maybe 10 ICOs a day then, and then in the future could be hundreds or thousands per day. Is that something that you still see? And if so, how do you think Lisk will figure into that?
Yeah, definitely. If you want to do an ICO today, it's mostly really complicated. You already need to program some scripts or do security audits and so on. On Lisk, this will be super easy. Just a few clicks in the user interface and done. And this way, everyone will be able to do an ICO. While I don't want to put really the focus on the financial aspects of an ICO, I think ICOs in general are a great tool for people to just be able to do something by raising funds and then being able to execute on their ideas. So exactly what we did back in 2016 with Lisk. But it will be so easy, well documented in the Academy, that everyone will just be able to do it, and I think many people will do it. And even now we get so many questions about it and so many interested people who just want to launch their own ICO in order to realize the great idea they have. And well, I'm not sure about the numbers. I think it will start slowly and then will exponentially grow. It's also in terms of scalability of our blockchain. But I'm quite optimistic that we will see at least 1,000 ICOs in the next few years.
That's phenomenal. Yeah, so another thing that I like about Lisk is you have a very big team. Now, can you talk about kind of the growth of Lisk over the past couple of years and kind of the projected growth for the future?
Yeah, sure. About the last couple of years, well, basically the team just exists now for 1 year. We started to grow it in 2017. It started with one backend developer we hired, then another one. And now we are over 40 people here in Berlin in Lightcurve, contributing to the Lisk project on a daily basis, full-time and exclusively. And well, the plan is to double the size this year alone. We might be able to do more, let's see. For me, it's just very important that we have one team sitting in one place, working extremely hard to achieve what they have set out to achieve, and not like a distributed worldwide freelance basis concept. In my opinion, like yesterday's event, we could have not achieved it if we would sit in different places in Europe. We needed the people to sit in one room to be able to execute on this event, you know. And Well, what I see in terms of growing the team now within Lightcurve is that we now starting to get experts of different fields. Let's say out of cryptography, out of QA engineering, so that they can really contribute on a very deep level, so that Lisk can really grow into this amazing technology we set out to be. The same goes for the Lisk Foundation. So as you know, we are based in Switzerland, Zug, and we have this foundation council, which is holding several meetings a year to decide the direction we want to take this protocol to. But by now, everything just grew so big so fast. We need more helping hands there as well. We need people who conduct like financial analysis for us. We need people in operations, in human resources. We need people who just help with business development, because we get so many requests of people who want to build on this, who want to do an ICO, who want to establish a partnership and so on. So all in all, we're just looking for talented people. But this is something I can really tell you, talented people. We're looking for the best. We need the best. But I'm quite optimistic, especially now after the relaunch with a beautiful website, a beautiful branding, that we will be able to attract these talents easier. In 2017 it was possible. We now have an amazing team, but I think we're gonna grow much, much bigger from here on.
Okay. So for anyone out there with these talents that you're looking for, how would they contact you in terms of that?
So if you want to work in Zug, Switzerland, you would just contact careers@lisk.io. And if you want to work here in Berlin, you just contact careers@lightcurve.io.
Great. So another thing that you mentioned yesterday at the relaunch event was the progress in terms of other cryptocurrencies may be considered somewhat slow, but there was kind of a method behind it, a reasoning behind taking your time to get things right. Can you kind of explain that for everyone?
So what I think a big problem in the space is that people just need to push out as much as possible as soon as possible. Why? Because you have this community which is like constantly complaining to the team, when is it being released? Can you do more? Please spend $500,000 on marketing so that the price goes up. They just have this one thing in their mind, the price. And this always sets this kind of responsibility into the cryptocurrency team to just push out everything as soon as possible. And this is, in my opinion, really bad, because it means that the quality suffers from it. People don't have enough time to produce quality material in such a short time span. Okay, so that means we do it the other way. We just say, okay, hey, we're just going to release something when we believe it's ready, when we believe we reached a certain point where we can show it. I'm sure what we're going to launch today, the new website, the new Lisk Hub, and so on, it's all in a very early state. But for us, it reached this point of stability, this point of matureness, where we can say, okay, yes, now we can show it to the world. We are proud of what we have achieved. And the same goes for the development here. Lisk 1.0 takes an enormous time of work. It has now more commits than every release together before that. So it's a huge chunk of software which now needs to be tested. And we take this extremely serious. Like Oliver goes around every day saying, hey guys, you need to write the tests. And everyone is writing tests basically every day. Every day someone is writing a few tests. And the testing period of now 4 to 6 weeks with internal release candidates, and then after that an open beta on the testnet is just necessary, because the network is worth quite a lot of money right now, and we cannot even like think about doing a mistake, you know. So we just take our time, no matter what the community is thinking or saying to us. We don't let ourselves put into pressure, and we just focus on what we want to build.
Great, great. Another thing with the relaunch, it was months long in terms of the development of the relaunch in total. And you mentioned that one of the things you started with was user testing. And so why did you do that, and what do you think you gained from it?
Yeah, so in this phase we worked together with the Relevance, and what we established were, for example, a user group of developers in Slack, where relevance then asked them specific questions. We also connected ourselves to different industry experts, like people really from the community, people more from the financial space, but really familiar with blockchain technology and so on. And we asked them multiple questions. Questions which helped us to achieve somehow like an understanding of where the problem is and what needs to be solved, and a question of how people actually see Lisk, what are the benefits, what are the promises of Lisk, and what are like the advantages. For example, I think people really want that Lisk succeeds, because that would mean just an amazing thing for the industry itself. It would finally make it more accessible. We could see more blockchain applications popping up. Everyone wants to see that. So we have many people supporting us on our journey because they really want to see it. Well, and then Relevance formed it all out, created this brand, this branding or this brand identity. And we basically just did it in order to be sure that what we're gonna design, what we're gonna build afterwards is like on the point and really what people want and need.
Yeah, well, I can definitely say from watching the relaunch yesterday, you guys did a phenomenal job, and the new product from what we saw yesterday looks phenomenal.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's all thanks to the marketing team working on this event and Tycoon out and working on the design. I think everything looks really good. We set a certain industry standard here in terms of quality of this event. Like, it was massive, right? It was so beautiful. Really looking forward to the next one. But now everyone is also, I think, very happy for a breather, you know, just relaxing a bit and working hard on other things instead of preparing a new event. But I think it was an amazing success.
Yeah, definitely. So a question that I was curious about more of on a personal level, what is your motivation behind this? Like, why do you get up in the morning and work really hard towards all this stuff?
I think, so I just want to make an impact in this world, you know, I just want to change it for the better. I don't really know where this is coming from, but I think it's very important for every individual to contribute something to this world, to society, to whatever, you know. We cannot be just ghosts walking around and being invisible and never trying to achieve or change something. And for me, blockchain technology just gave me this opportunity to do that, to exactly make a difference in this world. And I think blockchain technology is a great means to really introduce a technology which can change things, which can remove borders, which can increase transparency, which can reduce manipulation, and so on and so forth. So for me, it was like a technology I fell in love with on first sight. I directly knew, okay, this is gonna be me for the next few years. And then thanks to this very successful ICO we did, I also got the opportunity, the chance to make what I always wanted to do, making an impact, you know? And that's why I'm working so hard on this. I think blockchain technology is a way to make impact. It's still in an early state. We still have many opportunities to bring it to the people. And that is what wakes me up every morning.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really inspiring. And that's, I mean, it's good to know that that's kind of your driver behind doing it. So yeah, I mean, all in all, I just want to say, like, thanks for the opportunity for coming out here. Thanks for the interview. The relaunch was awesome. Better than I could have expected, and I think better than a lot of people watching could have expected as well. Anything else that you'd like to say, share, cover in this interview?
Yeah, sure. So now we have relaunched. There's a new Lisk out there. So that means from now on, we're going to work harder than ever to really achieve this blockchain application platform we always spoke about. And I think now is really the time where people can see us and they will see us in a good light. It's not this old boring website anymore. We now soon will have a fresh new look, and this will finally push us to this certain point of professionalism where we can go to people with the full like with the full strength, you know, like not being ashamed of, oh yeah, but the website is still ugly. We still have this World of Warcraft icon logo. No, now we have an identity, now we know who we are and what we really want. And I think this will just accelerate everything from today. We will get people faster and easier. People will work harder on it. And I think everyone will now work even more together to create this blockchain application platform.
I'm very excited for it. And like I said, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that interview with Max Kordek. In case you couldn't tell, I was a little bit starstruck being there. I mean, it's just crazy the people you get to meet in cryptocurrency. But had a great time, great interview. He's a super cool guy. And guys, only 26, and he is like, boom, doing awesome in the world. So I want to say thank you very much, Max, for the interview. That was awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, kind of going over everything with Lisk, what's going on now, what to look forward to. I think the general idea I got from everything with the relaunch, with the interview with Max, is that this isn't like a pump and dump crypto. So this isn't one that you're going to, get 1 million times gains in a day. But you know what? Those gains, they never stay. This is one that's building slowly for the longevity of the project. This is something in my opinion, this is one of the things that emerges from like the .com bubble, like the Google, the Amazon, the YouTube, one of those things that emerges from it because they've done their work, they've built it up so it'll be built to last as opposed to just this whatever, hey brain scream. So, hope you enjoyed that one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Also, guys, this Tuesday we have a late night live stream. So if you want to win a free Ledger Nano S, go to crypto-lab.com/ledger. You could enter to win it there. I thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the like button if you liked it only. And then I'll catch you guys later. Love you very much. Peace.